Okay, baby doll, I'm going to teach you how to make haystacks. Now, a haystack on a farm out in the field is like dried grass in a pile. But what we use when we make haystacks is corn chips. And we stack them up and put things on top of them. You can also use a different kind of corn chip called a tortilla chip. But I prefer Fritos corn chips. Now, it's Friday evening now, and tomorrow we will be doing haystacks for potluck. But I'm going to make me haystacks for supper right now, for dinner. And what we do, you'll see how this all comes together. You're going to have to cut up a lot of stuff, and then everything will end up on this plate in a stack. First, we start out with what's called refried beans. This is a can of vegetarian refried beans. You can also make your own refried beans or your own beans. They don't have to be refried. Refried beans, you start with pinto beans. These are called pinto beans. And actually, these pinto beans were beans that were actually grown by us on this farm. And if I were to make them from scratch, which I will do for tomorrow, make them from the very start, I'll put these beans are dried now. They're dry. Like those lentils I sent you. They're dry. I'll put these in water and in what's called a slow cooker, which will heat them up slowly overnight for several hours. And then in the morning they'll be finished with certain herbs and spices. Trying to get this hair out of there. But see, those are pinto beans. And that's what's in this can. These are called vegetarian refried beans because if you get traditional refried beans, see, it comes from the Mexicans, and the Mexicans usually use lard, which is pig fat. You see under there at the beginning, at the bottom it says frijoles refritos vegetarianos, which is Spanish for vegetarian refried beans. Alright, I'm using this canned one this evening, but like I said, I'll be making the other ones from scratch. Now, I've already opened one can and have it heated, but I'm going to open this can to show you what it looks like. Like I said, you start with the whole bean, but this isn't like if you've ever seen a can of pork and beans where you open it and the beans are still whole. If you open this can, the beans have been mashed or blended or mixed, so you no longer see the bean. It's a bean paste, kind of. And I've got that heating in my rice cooker, actually, over on the other side of the kitchen here. You can't see that in the camera. The just wash off the spoon, because I'll need that for other things later. Alright, the refried beans are heating up in the rice cooker. Now, we have, for our haystacks, tomatoes, black olives. You see this says Lindsay brand, this certain brand, California ripe pitted olives. It's a black olive. This is a head of lettuce. I have an onion. and an avocado. That's the label. I can peel that off. Well, I don't need to peel that off. That's what we're going to be cutting up. Also, I've got cheese. I need to get away from using real cheese. We need to use soy cheese or cashew cheese like Deanna makes. By the way, Haystacks are one of Deanna's favorites. Just had to grab something else over here, which we'll need later. Just a second. Okay, I have 5 different items that I just showed you that I'll need to be cutting up. I'm going to start with the cheese. Let me open the package here. And we're going to shred the cheese with this hand grater. What I'm doing here is making just enough for me to have a meal of it this evening. I won't be taking cheese to the potluck. Deanna said she's bringing her vegetarian cheese substitute made with cashew. Very good. The cheese I don't use, I'll put it in the refrigerator later. This is mild cheddar cheese. Okay, you see I've got cheese there. This is going to be my portion for... so I've got a container here. I'm just going to put it in until we need it again. Alright, so 1 of 5 items. 1 of 5 items that we've prepared for the Haystacks. Okay, I'll clean off the cutting board. This is not the counter. This is a cutting board, which is on top of the counter. Let's see, next I've got tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes. It's a variety that is used quite often by the Mexicans. It's some inexpensive tomato. I'm cutting out the stem part, the part that the stem was attached to. Maybe I'll just cut off the small end of that one. Let me start with 2 tomatoes here. Now the cheese was shredded. These tomatoes will be diced. Yeah, I cut them that way once. Cut them that way once. So this is 2 of these tomatoes. That's good enough for my one portion. I've got more tomatoes I'll take to potluck tomorrow. Dice them up at the church, in the church kitchen. This is not a really good knife for doing these tomatoes. Tomatoes, sometimes you need a knife with what's called a serrated edge. That would have teeth on it, and this one doesn't. It's usually pretty good. I think I need to sharpen it. Okay, so you see I have tomatoes here, diced. And I'm going to put those in a different container here. I'm putting these in containers until we build the haystack. Let me take my sponge, clean up the mess made with the tomatoes. Clean off the... I'll rinse the knife in the water. got a sink right over here you can't see. I'm just going to leave the camera in one spot. That's why I'm not going to move it around. All right, this is the olives. Like I said, California ripe pitted olives. These ones happen to be small. They come in small, medium, large, and jumbo. And either size will work for what we're doing because we're going to slice them. What I'm going to do is open the can. Actually, I'm going to keep the lid here because I'm going to drain them in the sink. And I can hold them in the can by keeping the lid on the top. I'm going to rinse them and drain them again. Okay, what I'm going to do is slice some olives. They're rolling around here. Okay. These are small olives. I'm going to see how many I'm going to eat. I think it's going to be about half the can, actually. So that's about half the can. Like I said, I've got a hearty appetite tonight, so... Okay, I'm slicing them. Just a couple slices. Gotta be careful or cut off the end of your finger. These are black olives. There's also green olives you can buy. But normally we use black olives on a haystack. Let me get more in the picture here. I got a couple cans of black olives I'll take to the potluck tomorrow. And then after church, right before the potluck, either I'll cut them up or somebody else will, because I've got a lot of stuff to cut up. Tomatoes and olives. And we'll see onions also, like I said. I just popped a black olive in my mouth. And another one. That's one advantage to cooking. You can take a little snacks along the way. I've got a bowl here. I'm going to put these olives in. This is how we do it at the potluck. Really, there'll be more stuff in these bowls, but we put them in different bowls, and then when people go to the table, they serve themselves like a buffet. All right. So I've got some olives left over, so I'll put those over to the side. I'll put them in the refrigerator later. Let me wash off my knife. And my cutting board. I'm washing off my cutting board with just plain water here just to get... we don't want to be eating soap, so... Alright, this is a head of iceberg lettuce wrapped in plastic. I'll just get rid of the plastic. And then it has a core in it, and I find the best way to get rid of the core is hit it against the counter kind of hard, and then the core comes out like that. Now I just need enough lettuce for myself. Sometimes the outer leaf is a mess. I don't know if you see how that's brown and yucky. So I just need enough for my dinner. The rest I'll use for potluck. So let me see, I cut off a little wedge of it there. And I'm going to chop it up. First I'll shred it one way. Then I'll turn it, shred it the other way. Make it in small pieces. It's also how you can make a salad. So again, I have a container, I'll put that in. I'm mainly using the containers right now to show you how to do it because normally I might just build the haystack right as I chop things, but for now, showing you, I'm going to put them in separate containers. Okay, I wipe this off into my hand and then throw that away. Alright, got two more. I guess I have 6 different types of items that I had to cut up. I said 5 before, but now I'm looking at 6. So onion. First I cut off both ends of the onion. And you've got the skin around the onion. And I score that. And I pull off the skin of the onion. You could also sometimes pull off the first layer. You gotta get rid of that skin though. Skin is not tasty. Sometimes it's hard to pull off just the skin. You can pull off the first layer of the onion. But that one came off fairly easy. Throw away the skin. And actually I'm going to wipe this off because I don't want little pieces of skin, onion skin. I just want the onion itself. Alright, so this might be more onion than I need for my one dinner portion, but I'm going to dice the whole thing and I can take the rest to the potluck tomorrow. I cut it first the one way and then the other way. It's called dicing. You know, it gives you little pieces of onion. Let me do the other one. And like I said, this is more onion than I'm going to use on my personal haystack I'm getting ready to make. But you know, usually I try to dice a whole onion if I do because it's hard to save an undiced onion. Okay, so I'm going to put that in this bowl. Oh, I only prepared 5 bowls. Because that's a lot of bowls for a single guy to find in his house. So, let me wash one more here. Because I need it for the avocado. That's good. Okay, I've got a bowl here for the avocado. And I take the avocado, cut it in half, get rid of the pit, the seed. Then I'm gonna dice this up. Now for a haystack, you could also, instead of dicing the avocado, you could make guacamole, which is something that's made with avocado. But I'm just gonna cut it into slices and then peel it, throw the peelings away. Got my garbage can over here. That one kind of broke in half, so it's already kind of where I want it. I want it to, I'm going to put it in this bowl here. Once I get these all peeled, I'm going to cut them up smaller. Actually, let me take those out of the bowl and cut those even smaller. So I'll just cut the avocado, small pieces. Put it in the bowl. Okay, there's the avocado. Now, I'm done with my knife. Wash that. I'll wash it better later after we're done here. Let me clean off my area here. Alright, so I got avocado, cheese, tomato, lettuce, olives, and onions. I can't get them all in the picture here. Okay, there's 6 different things there. Plus, 2 other things I'm going to add. One is sour cream. And again, I'd like there's tofu-based sour creams that are healthier. I don't know if you ever use sour cream. It's just a dairy product. Then there's salsa. S-A-L-S-A. Spanish word. This is really kind of a Mexican dish. This is a common dish, common meal for Seventh-day Adventist potlucks in America. Alright, so I've got a plate here. And everything's going to end up on the plate in a stack, which is why it's called a haystack. So I take my favorite corn chips, Fritos, open the bag, put some of those on the plate. There's kind of your hay. Hay out in the field on a farm is dried grass, kind of yellow. So I've got those chips there. Next, I have heated up my refried beans. Here they are in the pan. And I'm going to take some of them, put that on top of the chips. I'm using all my hands here. I won't use my hands at the potluck, but this is my own food, so I'm messing with it. Spread it around on top of the chips. I guess I could use a utensil. It's easier when I do the beans, and you just take a spoon and the beans are not. This is a paste kind of. The refried beans. Kind of a mess. Kind of a mess the way I did it, sorry. Alright, so I've got beans on top of corn chips. And we are building our haystack. Let me wash my hands off here. That was not terribly slick the way I did that. Let's see if I can get down there. Center. Alright, now you can put things on in any order you want to. I think I'm going to put the cheese on next. I'm going to put some cheese on there. I'm going to take a little nibble of cheese here now. Okay, I got the cheese on there. Next, I'm going to put lettuce on there. See, it's actually, you can't see it from the top, but it's getting kind of tall. Okay, next, onions. Put onions on there. Now, it's going to get a little more colorful here. I'm going to put tomatoes on there. There. I might as well use them all. Tomatoes. Alright, then black olives. If I don't eat all this, my dog will. Sammy likes anything. Okay, then avocado. Then we open the salsa. Oh, this just a minute. That was to loosen the lid on the salsa. So I take that and spoon some over that. Salsa is kind of spicy. This is a mild salsa. You can get it spicier, but I like it mild. See, it says mild there on the top. Rinse off that spoon. And the final thing, sour cream. And I put a dollop of it there on top. Now that is a haystack. You can see it's stacked up. So there you go. All right, baby doll. Here, let me get that out of the way so it's not in the picture. So. All right. Love you, baby doll. Look forward to you coming to potlucks and eating haystacks with us.